The agenda is pay the bills. Questions or comments?
I make the
I'll make
motion.
the motion.
Got a motion to pay? You got a second? All right. All in favor? All right. Item 2, consent list. I didn't see any changes or additions in the minutes. Of course, it didn't amount to a whole lot last time. Tax office had a pretty busy month, looks like. Huh? Oh. And we're up to, getting close to 96%.
Yes.
Doing pretty good. Clerk's office was even a little busier this. County court didn't do anything, but district court did a little.
District court did a little.
Yeah, but we got just about, well, we were running 98 and 100%. And I think with the disposition of the last one, as far as the county, we should be 100 and 100 by now.
We should be, yeah.
So, all that's looking good. Then we got the treasurer's report. Questions or comments about anything on the consent list?
Motion to approve the consent list.
All right, got a motion to approve, have a second? Shorty second, all in favor?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right, road and bridge, Jackie stopped by early, they're short-handed today, they've only got 3 hands going with the rain, they still be, they're gonna be up in that Banny Bradley area and that where that Croton crosses up there, it's silted in about waist deep, you can't get down the road. Problem we've had, we've discussed this before, when those developers went up there and they fenced all that off, they built their fence right up against
Yeah.
our road. Jackie said, what we gonna do? I said, well, if you got to take a loader up there, you scoop that up, you back up until you can get enough room to turn and just pull it over the fence, that's all we can do, because the fences are actually on the county right of way. I hate to go up there and tear anybody's fences up,
Yeah.
but just dump the stuff over the fence. It's still kind
I've
of on
seen
my
it.
roadway, that's about all we can do. You can't even turn around up there.
Yeah, that one place, they set that H brace and come down, and I mean, it's right against the road.
Right against the road. I mean, it's, you know, like I say, I hate to just tear their fences down, but we've got, if they wanna get down that road, we've gotta get that cleaned out. To get it cleaned out, we can't get a dump truck in there, cause you'd have to back in from about 6 miles back. But with the loader, gets it, he can't turn around to dump the load into the truck. That's what we're up against. You've been up there and looked
I
at
know.
it.
I
You
know
know, we
what
got
it
that
is.
old washout on the east side.
Yeah,
But Jackie asked me, he said, what do we do with it? And I said, you may have to get that loader up there and you pick up a load and you back up till you can kinda get enough room to kinda get sideways there and dump it on the fence. That's all we can do. Because that fence is built down in the roadway, or down in the right of way.
I don't know who owns it.
I don't either. And I don't know who built the fence.
I don't either.
So that's what they're doing today. But with a 5-man crew, I'm just gonna throw this out there so we can be thinking about it. I think we're gonna have to add another man in that road. department.
I'm gonna agree with you there.
Yeah.
And we've got a good candidate for it who does have a CDL. The only problem is, I'll have to find somebody else to replace him.
Who?
I hate to name names right now because until the commissioners decide to do it, but we've got a man that works for the county that's got a CDL.
Oh, yeah.
I'll just leave it at that for now. You figure that out. Works for the county and already has a CDL and wants the job over there.
Well, we need somebody to help Doug a little bit
Yeah.
over yonder.
That's something we're gonna do now. I don't know about adding another line item or another crew this
We
year.
have a part-time position open over there,
Yeah,
and at this time of year,
Part-time position, we could put him full-time and if we run it out, we'll run the
Yeah.
clock out.
see, Tommy was coming back in part-time when we got shorthanded and need help, but I think maybe some health issues or something. He's not
His
doing
health
that any
is-
longer.
Got bad.
And it's just like today, two guys out, and it just makes it hard for us to, especially at a time like this, after all the rains and stuff, the washouts, and like I say, that thing out there, of course, it always silts in every time we get a big rain. So, that's something we're really gonna have to consider.
Yeah, Doug needs some help.
yes,
We got enough.
Time.
we got enough to.
What month are we in here? Is this,
The end
is this
of-
seven? Seven? What month, I mean, October, November, December, January, February.
We have 4 months left of the budget.
Thank you, that's what, I'm doing stick fingers here. Yeah,
You ran out of
okay.
fingers.
So,
We
yeah,
have half a year's salary.
so let me ask you this. Do we, Ronnie, do we have to, can we not just, if the money's there as part-time, can we not go ahead and pull the trigger on that?
I think.
Right
I think
now,
we could pull the
if you
trigger
want-
on that right now. The problem, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you, it's Tim.
Sure.
And I hate to lose him out of this courthouse. But here's the thing, if we have something major like Jackie and I've talked about, we can get Tim back over here to help us fix it. Until we get somebody, but I've gotta have somebody to help
It's already
keep the
there.
courthouse clean
Yeah, the
and.
money's,
You don't have to vote on it, it's already
It's
there.
already there.
But you
And
would
the-
have to come next budget.
Is this,
Yeah.
is that paid?
you wouldn't have to vote on him specific. We
No,
would
I'm-
just change the
That's right.
budget
So we don't have to do,
to
we don't have to do
reflect
anything,
Rotary.
What,
we don't have to do anything to do it.
on a deal like this, we let him go over there, I could let him go over there, and then when they kinda catch up, come back into the courthouse, but it's gonna throw us short here in the courthouse, keeping things, and right now, we got the swimming pool, we're trying to get ready to go.
mowing and the pool.
Splash days earlier by a week this year, I mean, the splash days up the 23rd, I think it is, I think that's the Saturday, 24th. I guess graduation's the 23rd, so usually it's a week later. So we've gotta get that ready, so we've only got 2 weeks for that. And we're gonna have to go to filling that pool up this week, so we can get the chemicals up and go there. Tim's got it cleaned out and ready to go.
Well, with Larry's deal, I mean, he could be out a while. He could be back and forth for a while, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So my thinking, I'm not speaking for court, but I think we would move him over. I mean, I hate to do that to y'all, but we can probably hire somebody to work in the courthouse, easily we can find somebody.
well,
Yeah.
I can get somebody temporary to come in a couple of days a week and clean the courthouse, as far as that goes.
Well, last year he had some summer help helped him up here.
Yeah,
Some, high school, well.
It was
that-
Maddie Malloy.
Maddie Malloy helped him.
And she was good.
yeah.
Yeah.
She did a
Maddie
good
was
job.
I don't know what she's gonna do this summer. I mean,
She has a
A
job.
lot-
I know, but I wonder if she has
I
to be there all
told her
summer.
when her last day here last year,
Probably.
come this summer, if
They have summer
she
sports and stuff, I bet she
wanted to,
does.
a summer part-time job, come back over.
Well, that's my 2 cents worth.
The mowing's gonna be the issue.
Huh?
The mowing in the pool.
Yeah, mowing and stuff. And when Maddie was here, she did most of the mowing.
The pool deal will get us more than anything.
And Gary, with my
Yeah.
dad, if I get full-time help back again, I can take some of the
Sure,
pressure off of dad.
but
I'm,
y'all got a situation.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't be
I mean,
gone all the time right now either, so.
Without getting into that whole deal, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's my concern. I mean,
But anyhow, on the road and bridge,
Why
that's,
don't we
that's,
let me add and
we're
see
gonna have
what
to
we
find
get?
him some more help.
Well, I know
Forget
that.
about that.
For courthouse help?
I mean, put
Okay.
the ad in the paper and see who shows up.
So let me talk to Tim, if he's agreeable with that, help them when they need it for now, and then be back when we've gotta have something here. And Jackie and I did talk about that, so that's agreeable with them. But they gotta have some help over there. And right now, other than a little mowing around, I think we're in pretty good shape on the courthouse.
Andy suggested we go ahead and run an ad and just try to hire some courthouse help right now.
Yeah, okay. Well, we can,
Because like I said, the money's, it's a push on the money.
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause his salary's gonna come out of over here and go to over there.
exactly.
So there's no
So-
money change difference.
Yeah, there's no money change.
Yeah.
And you still have your budget for your custodian over here that you can hire somebody and,
I think that's what we'll do.
I'll get you an ad.
Okay.
and to
But
be
anyhow,
honest
I
with
know
what
Doug,
we're
yeah,
paying
yeah,
now.
yeah.
He's needing some help with that, 'cause
Sure.
he's
See
stretched
what we
pretty
can come up
thin
with.
over there.
Well, it's hard to find somebody that's got CDLs and can run heavy equipment. I mean,
See, that's it. I mean, where are we gonna find somebody with a CDL, already got a CDL, that's wanting to go to work for the county, that's not already working out in the danged oil patch, making probably a whole
Yeah,
lot more than what we
a
can pay.
lot more than what we can pay.
You know, that's the issue we've got right now.
That's it.
I know, I was just in Midland, and you're lucky to not get run over by a truck when you're
It's dangerous there, ain't it?
Oh, yeah, it's, that place is gone
And
crazy.
I also know Tim does a lot of the mechanic work for us. I mean, we
Yeah,
pay him
for
separate,
sure.
but He does
I need
do some of the mechanic work.
Still gotta get that water fixed over there,
Yeah,
that old water.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he asked me again the other day, I mean, I'll go help him fix it, I'll just get a backhoe over there so we dig it up.
Okay.
So, but it's gotta be fixed, so, hey, man, he's having to come all the way to town, get water, and then go back over there to spray. I mean, and that's
yeah.
when we put water over there.
All right.
Okay, so I'll get an ad in the paper, and I'll talk to Tim and start letting him go over one, especially like on a day like today, and they've gotta have some help on that stuff. So, okay, anything else for road and bridge? That's all I've got, but I thought that was pretty important we talk about. Okay, if nothing else on road and bridge, go to this discussion, and we'll make the internal changes that we need. All right. Item number 4, consider resolution to update the investment policy. And I guess, does everybody have one of those?
Yes, and nothing has changed with our policy other than the date
You need to sign that and hand it to Ike.
and
Yeah.
That one right there by Ike.
You can't just keep
He
that.
keeps trying to take my pen. You didn't give him my pen. I just need you to sign that.
He don't know.
Okay.
And y'all have always been the committee on the investment side, because, I mean, who else is going to say?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and.
You are the committee.
And with
Yay.
that change, it's making the changes and the resolution to reappoint, but, y'all have a copy of the
You're good, you're good.
resolution? Yeah, you can see it, it's just, on Anya is our, person, the chief investment person in the county, custodian of our money, thank goodness. But then again, we have to need an investment committee, and that's always been made up of the commissioners court. That's what the resolution says in this meeting.
And the only set rule is I have to report to y'all quarterly, which I do, what the investment amounts are that we carry at the time. And we do CDs at the bank and savings accounts at the bank. We do not do pools, but
Yeah, and for the newer members of the court may not know, but any money that we put in the bank over here the bank has to put up a security, because we're above and beyond the $250,000 on FDIC. So the bank is required to put up a security to secure our money in that bank. We did a 3-year, but most of the time that comes back every year. They'll send me a notice that whatever security they have up, maturity date's coming up, and I'll sign the release so they can cash that one back in, but they assign another security to us.
Yes, they're
That's-
always real good to keep us
Yeah,
collateralized.
it keeps our funds fully backed up in the bank. So anyway, so the investment policy, you had a chance to look over it, and like I said, not really any changes in the policy, except just little minor things here and there, and then the resolution attached to it, the reappoint. That clear as mud? Okay.
The big deal was, is we needed y'all 3 new members to be part of the committee.
Yeah.
I needed that to say that y'all are the committee.
So we have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Make a motion to approve. Have a second? Gary, second. All in favor? All right. I'll pass this around and get everybody to sign it. Okay. Item number 5, consider proposal from Pritchard Abbott. Shall I get it?
Gary's done approved this.
Yeah, I'm on board all the way.
Provide tax collection software for the county tax office from January the 1st, 2026 through January the 31st of 2027. Lacey, you want to talk about this?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, but for Mother's Day, I want Gary to make this, I want him to move to accept this contract.
What did they go up on the lease?
$1,000, it's total,
Yeah.
it's just $1,000 more for next year than
Yeah,
this
it
year.
was 19,995 and now it's 21,995.
See what I tell you?
Can't beat a deal like that.
Mom, it's a bargain. I wish we'd get them to take over Road and Bridge.
Watch it.
That ain't no joke. I still ain't figured out that mail deal
They're
yet.
listening.
I know I'm hung up on that, but I mean, it's kinda like,
Well-
Especially now with the price of.
so I left this out. So, like, and I understand exactly why Lacey did this. They come in here and create, I'm gonna give you the gist of it. For like 8 cents, they would
It's
furnish,
more now, like 14, but go ahead.
so they're gonna furnish a windowed envelope, and you know what those cost?
Yeah, I do.
And the postage
Yeah,
for 14 cents.
yeah.
And they're gonna fold them.
And they
They print them, stuff them,
Fold
mail
them,
'em.
stuff them in the envelope,
and mail them.
pay, post
Draw me,
it on it.
I gotta have
mail
a
it
picture,
for
because I ain't
14
following that
cents.
at all.
In 1999, when
I
I
don't know
started,
how
I
they do
started
it,
in August of
They
99.
may get a better
so
deal than I
in the
get.
end of September was my first time to start sending statements out for the very first time. And I stood in that office for 2 weeks, and
Did y'all fold them by hand?
Yes.
Y'all didn't have the machine?
We have a machine, but it jams every time you stick it in
Yeah.
there. So then you gotta unjam it. So for the most part, and we send a lot of statements out, and so your fingers are raw, and you stuff them, then you gotta seal the envelopes, and I mean, it's a lot of work, it's a
And
lot of.
Yeah, I
now-
totally-
And now what is the postage to mail?
72
What is it?
cents.
So how they doing it? That's my point.
But so.
Because they're making it off the
This
other
And
conversation-
side.
nobody was
Yeah.
real
This
happy
conversation
with
today about
me
them
when I
envelopes.
decided
Yeah,
that, 'cause
I
they
know.
even,
They're
they
doing
kept folding and
That's-
sending theirs
that's where my
out
beef comes in.
themselves, and in our office,
On the
I made
cat
a
office.
decision to
Something- yeah,
have a
something don't
Pritchard
smell
Abbott do
right.
it. Well, it was so much cheaper, and I didn't have to do it, you know, but it saved us money, and nobody liked the idea, especially the postmaster. I mean, they're like, we need you to mail those pieces out from here. I said, I understand that, but, I mean, we save so much money and labor, anyway, and it has been fantastic ever since. And we've been doing that for a good,
How many?
15 years
Rough
anyway.
guess, how many
Because
tax
the
states?
Boy, it don't add up at all.
Yeah, they-
Really don't want
they're-
to. See, that's what this,
they're-
y'all see where I get confused on this whole deal? I mean,
can't
it's
remember.
kinda like I
I'd
just
have
scratched
to
my
go-
ankle.
I don't
We're
know.
talking in the
Thousands.
thousands.
Yeah, they're just making up
They're-
other
Yeah.
Sam, it's awesome.
I mean, they got
You
it.
buy a cheap gas and we'll see a hot dollar Coke in here.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all it
yeah.
boils down to.
Did you
I
see
get
that
it.
cheap gas?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm, where's
Yeah,
that
well,
at?
yeah.
But
Might
if
be
we-
one of them other ones, not
Yeah.
this
If we
one.
did it ourselves, we're still gonna have to pay that bill anyway.
I totally
so
agree. No, I
It
pick
has
each
been
over that deal,
fantastic, yeah.
but I still say it don't make any sense how you do it.
It doesn't, but it works
Even
for
at
me,
14,
so-
I mean, cause just like I said,
But they do such mass mailing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I-
pretty
I-
true.
It cuts them a deal.
And not only that, it's their employees that they're already paying to do a job anyway, that's doing the job.
I-
And, you know, in addition, so it's not like, anyway,
I think my biggest hangup is the postage.
I agree.
Because I can't believe the US Postal Service,
But
cuts
it's a
them.
permit charge, so whatever their permit
Yeah.
is to mail, I mean, so they're permitted to mail out
Yeah.
all of,
Yeah, for mass
however many
mail.
if they want to, yeah,
so
so.
that's why you get all them junk mailers in the mail all the
That's right.
time.
Yeah, yeah, cause the permit costs a certain fee and they can mail
Yeah.
out, I guess, as many as they want.
But you're right, I mean, cause I don't know, 254 counties, they're probably doing 200, Pritchard Abbott probably doing 200 counties in the state.
But let me tell you about
But yeah,
Pritchard Abbott and
three, I
this
think.
contract for me. You have a problem with a lot of other things, but not really what they do for me. Because the software and the collection and everything is fantastic.
Yeah.
And especially from 1999 till now, it's so good. So truly, they do a good job for me.
Yeah,
As
yeah.
far as the software collection.
And since our little 2-hour meeting with him in here
I told these guys about
3 or 4 years back, it seems like maybe, and we're gonna get into that discussion here in a minute, because I've got our preliminary figures here. That was another reason I asked Lacy to be with us on this. But anyhow, right now, it's the renew the agreement, the licensing agreement with computer system.
Come on, Gary, come on.
I'll make a motion that we renew that deal.
I'll second it.
All
gonna be
right,
in the
got a motion,
newspaper.
who seconded?
I did.
All right, Ike second.
I don't like it.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Motion
I
carries.
should have voted against it. I seen Larry do that one time at a fire meeting.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Too late, it's already on camera.
Got you on camera.
Item number 6, open forum, Gary.
Yeah, cemetery. So after one of those big rains, I got a phone call that had some graves sunken up here at Ashmont, and I called Javier, and he got on and he fixed them that day. Yeah, there was one up there, they said, but I didn't go up there and look at it, they said there was one up there really bad.
Yeah, the whole curb, I mean, it was really bad.
Anyway, but I will say yesterday afternoon, I had to go south to the house, and that, did we have an agreement in that when he's gonna mow? I mean, because we kinda got spoiled, and George just took care of it.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And,
it has
but
to
that-
keep it.
That Dove Mountain Cemetery is starting to get a little woolly, and, I didn't know how did we come to an agreement on that?
4
Yes,
inch,
it's in the
right?
contract.
4
Yeah.
inches?
4 inches?
4 inches.
Okay.
Now, this time of the year, we leave the flowering here.
Sure.
Because we will all get scalped if we mow the bluebonnets down.
Yes.
It's just that simple.
Is there any blue bonds in that Ashmont Cemetery? Is
There's
it,
some, not like there
Not-
used
not
to
like
be.
Not a lot, most of them are out in the roadway out there.
Yeah,
in
there are
front.
some
Okay.
though, and they've left them.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
have mowed around them.
have they, okay. Well, I'll get hold of Javier after
Okay.
court and get him.
Do you have
I've just been out
anything
there a lot.
to do
Was me last
between
night.
now and about lunch or therefore?
No,
Okay. I talked to Cody McDonald last night. We've had this agreement with Fraser Concrete to do the curbs. He wants, he's gonna call, he had something to do this morning. As soon as he gets back in town, freed up, he's gonna give me a call. He figured it'd be sometime around lunch. I told him I'd meet him at the cemetery. We'd look that over. You got time, since it's actually an accident, but you've been took, but yeah.
Yeah.
If y'all wanna go out there,
Drink.
if y'all can hang around till he calls, we go look at that so we can make sure we got the curbing like we need done. See,
Okay.
we've been waiting on that now, what,
Wow.
2 years? A little
Yeah, it's
over?
been, it's ever since I've been here.
Civil court when we started that?
Yeah. So, anyway, apparently, we're getting ready to get that, and Matt told me, oh, it's been 3 or 4 weeks ago now, he told me, he said, they're gonna be working here in the area right around town, and he said they would get that while they're here. So, like I say, Cody called me last night, he's kinda taking the initiative on all this stuff, and so, as soon as he gets, they had a pour or something this morning, something, anyhow, he said, it should be sometime between 10 and 11. He'd give me a call when I got, and I told him I'd meet him out there at the cemetery, so if you guys wanna come hang around till then, I'd appreciate it. We can, that way we can all kinda come to an agreement on it. It's in Ike's precinct, but Gary's always have been held that was him and your predecessor, they kinda swapped. Gary come up with the short end of that stick.
That, I don't know why that was. Double Mountain Cemetery is in
Yeah.
my precinct, and Asheville Cemetery is in your precinct.
Well, it used to be in Ford, what happened?
Well, when they redrew that line,
Oh.
that precinct line, and I don't know, but anyway, it's kinda like I drive by that Double Mountain Cemetery about
I don't know where my phone
17
is.
times a day or a week,
Yeah.
anyway.
But you understand what we've been doing out there, and that's the reason I'd kinda like for you
Yeah.
to be out, and Ike needs to be there.
Yeah, he
That
needs
way we're all on the same page when
I'm wondering if it's not.
when we
For sure.
discuss with them how we want that done out there, okay?
That'll work.
Is that,
Yeah.
okay, we'll do that then. Anything else, Gary?
That's all I had. Like I say, I just want to brag on Javier. I called him and I told him this needs to be addressed today. And,
Double Mountain all right after all these?
Double Mountain was
big
good.
rains?
I checked, my last few graves was dug up there and they were good. So, like I say, he did call me back and tell me that it was a little
Yeah.
bit soft, but he said, I got them filled in. I said, okay.
Yeah. About the only other one that we have any problems like that is that
Genevieve.
Genevieve.
I was over there the other day, I didn't see
It's all
anything.
right.
Dana Martin was the last one buried there, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was good.
Yeah, okay. Oh,
I hadn't been to the hooker.
Yeah. That hooker's up there in that sand, and it never does present a problem after rain, or since I've been in
Yeah.
here. The only ones is basically is this one out here, Double Mountain, time to time, Genevieve every once in a while.
Yeah.
We'll have to do something.
I guess she was the last one buried there,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I've had about 4 out there at Double Mountain. And like I say, I went and checked them all.
Never have heard of any problems at Oriana
I
in
haven't
that
either.
respect. So,
That may have been the last funeral. You know what? That cemetery might go look at it just to make sure, because buried Kay up there, what, 3 months ago, 2 months ago? Might go check that.
About 2 months ago.
Anyway.
And Lloyd was not
Yeah.
too long for
A
that.
year before that, wasn't
Yeah.
Shorty, anything? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Okay, well, we always talk about, we've got pool, we'll go to filling the pool up this week. Talk to you about the road crew shorts. We just got our annual report in on that, to the Treasury Department on the physical recovery funds. They wouldn't let me, I mean, we have $262,022 is what we got in that grant funds from them. And the initial deal was we could use those funds to replace lost revenue. And that's what we did. Because we lost revenue of something in the neighborhood of nearly $300,000 that year because of the economy going down, especially out here in the oil patch. So we reported that, and we thought that was the end of it. Well, they came back on it and said, no, you have got to spend those funds, even though you designated as replacement of lost revenue, still had to count where we spent every dime of it in projects. So Andy and I got together on that. We come up with over $300,000 in projects that we spent on, and the major one was over here at the community center, you know, fixing the floor and all. We bought that new truck. We did some road work, you know, on extra material and stuff. And when we had to upgrade down here at the pool, we got them in to paint all that and upgrade that. Those were all projects that were acceptable under their criteria. So anyway, 2 weeks ago, we got our final report into them on it. And they wouldn't let me report over it, so we ended up short by $2 on $262,022. So I may have to send Treasury Department a check for $2 when it's all said and done. But anyhow, it's here.
That'd be about 0.00001%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that wasn't enough zeros, was it?
Here's the thing, I don't think they'll pay a lot of attention to ours as long as we're in that ballpark. They're gonna be looking at those that drew the 50 and 60 and 70 million dollars in that thing. That's what they'll look at on all, they're gonna wanna look at that, you know, because that's where they could, you know, I won't say that anybody might misuse some of those funds, but they're gonna take a look at all that on ours. And like I said, I'm still got in there on my desk another about $60,000-$70,000 that we can claim on that if they come back on anything. So we should be in good shape. So, anyway. We got our preliminary values in there, and they're truly preliminary. And what would you say, she deducted 11%? So, it's 11% down, but
No, not, she took off 11%.
that's what
We're
it
still
said.
up. Yeah.
11% took off, so
Yeah.
the figures we got is actually short by 11, because we usually drop some because some protest and that sort of thing. So just to be on the safe side, we're not counting all those chickens till the
Right, so her
certified
number
numbers come
that's
in.
actually the preliminary, she took off another 11%, and that's what number she gave us.
Yeah. And for those that's new on this thing, they're required to have our certified numbers to us by the 25th of July. We usually get it a week or two before that on our cert. But right now on the preliminaries, it's looking like we may actually gain around $10 million in value over last year.
In mineral?
Yeah,
No, overall.
overall.
Okay.
It's,
Yeah. And
it is about 7 mineral.
Sorry.
About 7, so from 133 to 140.
Yeah.
However,
I mean, I'm glad, but,
no, it's not. 24 certified was 140, it's 133 preliminary, but that's less your 11%. So maybe it's about the same.
And
Okay.
some of that
That-
is
Does that
gonna
make sense to
be,
you?
yeah, I
Yes.
mean, because I just know there's not any action,
It didn't.
very little action in
it
Stonewall
didn't-
County.
It didn't really go down much.
Yeah,
So
well, if
that's
you'd come in here and
good.
said going down by half, it wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
and some of that figure is gonna be new property added. So that'll set aside when we're figuring up. And, you know, there's been a lot of building took place in the county.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that-
Yeah,
that-
lots of barndominiums and,
And she couldn't really give me a number because I asked her how much of that was new property and I can't remember.
yeah. See, I haven't looked at it.
Whatever
watched
she
it.
I still want that damn pie chart.
You what?
I still want that pie chart.
Okay. My free time off.
No, there's been some.
No, I want Bridget
actually,
Abbott to
there's
do
been
it.
some-
Oh.
Remember me telling them, I want that pie chart, so we can see what mineral and what, real estate, what the difference is? But
Yeah.
anyway.
I mean,
You didn't-
right
you didn't
now,
know.
it's pretty close to, I mean, it's, the preliminary is 118 and 133. So,
Yeah.
well, say 119,
Well,
because it's almost 119 and 33.
the way.
So our oil's I mean, cause, you know, oil used to pay 92
Yeah.
or
Well,
93%.
That's
at the-
85%.
Yeah, at the high
When you went to
point,
work,
at the high point, they paid 88.7%. Right now, they're at 53.
that's what
that
that's
crazy?
what I was.
Yeah, that's the
But,
breakdown.
hallelujah, the real has increased with
Yeah.
all the new builds, you know, cause we don't ever get more land, but people do
Yeah.
Yeah.
build more structures.
And one of the reasons for that high point, how come that to jump like it did, is when the legislature took control from the comptroller and the senator from Wichita Falls, had that crazy formula. And when I took office, the first year,
I forgot about that.
our mineral values, with that formula that they used, we were only taxing on about 30% of what our mineral values were actually worth. And then finally, the legislature
When,
I can't remember now which one it was. I mean, I think it's the 85th legislature. Anyhow, they said, no, that's crazy, because they had enough pushback from county officials and others. And so they took control and said, no, we're gonna go back to the market value. And that's when they did, and that's when we had the opportunity then to actually bring our reserves up where they should be. It also gave us the opportunity then to get health insurance for our employees and started giving some raises for the first time in 11 years.
I bet you, and I don't like to put a whole lot of faith in them either, but, I bet we come in above what we did last year on minerals.
which
I
said-
think
Because
it was.
11% is gonna be almost 15 million. And so that would be, you know, 148, and we were 140 last year. They're not gonna, I don't think they're gonna come down 11%, I hope.
Well, other than that one year, we had the whole disaster.
Right.
Normally, as a rule of thumb,
Well,
we was
we
talking about
lost
this earlier.
$65
we used-
million.
We were 10% basically, is
Yeah.
what we always
Yeah.
figured, just to safety you up,
And
right?
last year, I think she took off 18%,
Yeah.
because, you know, we were really picky, like,
Yeah.
you better not come in under
Yeah.
again, you know, so.
Well, and they've done a better job, I think, of really looking at our deal since,
I
the
think they
meeting
just
we had
don't,
with
they
them.
just don't mark off that value like they used to, because they know that we're watching every penny,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
So hopefully that stays
Hopefully.
like it's supposed to, and hopefully we'll come in more
Yeah.
than 10 million, maybe we'll come in 15 million or
Yeah.
16 million more.
right. Well,
Yeah.
if we go to no new revenue based on these, and of course, that's not taking into account the new property added.
Right.
But, it will reduce the tax rate by about 3 points right now.
Which is always good.
It's good.
So-
I mean,
That'll
30
reduce
would
the
be a lot
rate
better,
and
but
still let us
Yeah.
bring in a little more money,
yes,
so.
that's gonna be the problem, that 103.9 or 104 versus that 108. If you ever get behind, getting caught up,
Yeah. It is.
it's gonna be tough
Yeah.
sledding.
And we watch that pretty good, so we make sure that
Yeah.
it doesn't hurt us in the next 2 or 3 or 4
Yeah,
years.
well, I wanna brag on all the elected officials in these offices. They've always come in under budget on what they spend. I mean, y'all have done a great job managing the taxpayers' money as far as spending. I mean, I hope everybody realizes what kind of job y'all do to sort of try to save the taxpayers' money. But anyway,
Thank you.
Well, you can see, like I said, at the high point, there was 88.7% is what mineral values. That was, out of every dollar of ad valorem taxes we collected, the oil companies paid 88.7 cents of every dollar.
at one time.
With the figures we've got right now, it'll be 53 cents. So the real property and the mineral values are balancing out. The mineral values have come down, but our real property values have gone way up. I think they were at 65 million when I came into office, and they're now up to 120 million. So that's a big increase, nearly double. in
It
the
doesn't
last-
take long when you get those $3 and $4 million burn of
That's it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. And we've had quite a few new houses built. too.
Yeah, new houses
New
and
house.
new shops and,
So
in town.
But it's starting to balance out, but with the mineral product going down, that's one of the reasons I'm excited about this potential solar farm we're gonna get. Cause then that'll start balancing that loss out. Now, I've got a question, I haven't answered it yet, but I've got a questionnaire in there on my email. The gentleman wanting to know about anything about any regulations or any requirements for a battery storage facility in the county. And of course, we knew that when you start getting the solar farms, then the battery storage and even data centers start looking at us. And I've got an inquiry, I'll probably get some information back to him today. And like I say, got a company wanting to come meet us probably in the next month and a half or so, do a face-to-face to discuss a wind farm project up here. But I sent them what we did with the Amadeus wind farm, and what we collect out of that on a pilot program is considerably more than what they indicated they would pay. So that project may not come about, I don't know.
And we did look at their value too, and
Yeah.
it didn't depreciate. What was it? What I tell you that came in? The one that just ended or was fixing to end?
Oh, this now here, the
That's
Swenson
Mozart.
project, yeah, it'll
Mozart.
depreciate.
Mozart.
Yeah,
Mozart.
the.
Oh, Mozart.
The first
Yeah,
one.
Mozart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked
It
you
was-
about that. Did
yeah.
you look at that? You
Yeah, and
did?
it was still valued at much more than what.
So
I
it didn't
thought.
depreciate that like they,
Okay, now here's
You're still
a,
paying a lot.
could be a problem, because this it's, there's already had a court case. The parties agreed, the appeals court agreed with
On the side
the
of the
trial court.
taxpayer,
The trial court ruled against the utilities companies, went to appeal. The appeals court actually agreed with them. And then the parties came to a decision, so the appeals court removed their decision, so there's actually no court decision. What it boils down to is like Mozart out here. That value is figured not only what its the actual production is, but it's also added in on the federal subsidies they get. And the lawsuit was to remove the federal subsidies from that calculation.
So their value was increased
Yeah.
based off what they're getting.
So, because it's based on basically on income, that value is.
sure.
And if they remove the federal subsidies that they're getting from that calculation, it will drop considerably what our
But they
regular
lost that.
tax.
Well, it's,
Base
now
will
it's
be
just, there's nothing
Does that make
there.
sense?
Yeah.
It's like it's starting over, right?
Yeah,
It's like the case would start over.
yeah. So,
So we're back to square one.
we're back to
then?
square one now.
So we didn't,
But,
but,
but with the appeals court siding with utilities, you know there's gonna be some of these others that's gonna come right back into the courtroom with it.
well, that ain't, I mean, if they're getting to take that federal money, it looks like it would count as income.
See, that's it. They've been showing it as income, and
And
that's been
income
calculated in the
They
taxable
count
value.
in Income when they're figuring the, value of farmland.
Sure.
Yeah. But if that gets removed, that's gonna reduce that tax
That taxable value.
value.
Yeah.
So.
That's
But-
cool.
but
That's
I
because
think
that's,
But here's the
a fight that's gonna
thing,
go on for a long time,
except for
so-
Amadeus, we're kind of protected from that because we're now doing pilot programs.
Yeah, in lieu of taxes, so, yeah.
But
Well-
the Amadeus one, since it was just a straight value or, abatement on it, 60/40 abatement.
But,
And-
yeah, the
Yeah.
value
Now,
held is
when
all I was saying.
Amadeus comes off, and what's that got, we got 5 more years of it. Once it comes off, then it will go back to that kind of a calculation.
All I'm saying, it's not, I don't think it'll hurt us, because I think that as long as they're still producing
Yeah.
out there, that the value is still pretty good.
Yeah.
And that's,
Well,
that's
it beats dry
Jim
oil-
Allison's.
dry oil,
Yes.
for sure.
His take on this thing is, all the projects that we've done the payment in lieu of, that should not have a great effect on any of us on that, so. that's-
well,
Just so we all kinda
If we can't
understand
get a
where we're at
horizontal
with
well, we
that.
gotta settle for something else.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's working, so far.
Mail Lacey a check. That's what we need, right?
Right. Send us some money.
That's it.
But anyhow, our preliminary values are looking pretty good
Yeah,
right
it-
now.
it
So
was-
at least we're not gonna bleed to death here.
Yeah.
No,
In July,
no.
we start this deal. We don't have to have sandbags to bag up the door.
Nope. Unless, you know, the bottom falls out somewhere, so.
Don't mention the air conditioner.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Come
We
on,
gotta,
you guys,
we gotta
quit
make it
thinking
through
big.
summer.
No, I'm always the optimist anyway, so I think life is good.
Oh, it's
Lacey
good.
is the optimist and I'm the
Yeah,
pessimist.
and you know, that's the
And
only
we
time we
know
ever
what's up.
argue, is she's like,
Okay,
"Well,
so,
what
wait
is?"
a minute, I don't remember,
But
but
what
Lacey's
is-
got the good air conditioner already.
Yeah.
So
see,
she's
and
not-
I know.
She's really not sweating it.
I know, and that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm always saying.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else on
I
looking
do have
forward?
Deal on that, like them batteries talking about, them batteries.
Mm-hmm.
They said at that school, be sure, I mean, like if they caught on fire or something like that,
Yeah.
that make them furnish stuff for our fire department.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, really?
put it
Yes.
out,
Yeah, well,
put it
to-
out.
and
to-
and
and
Cheerleaders
that's
at
been the
contract.
discussion, and I've got some examples of that, but yeah, that's been the whole thing all along. Any battery storage facilities, those things are prone to fire. And everybody is starting to add that provision into the agreement on it, is they provide for the firefighting equipment.
Yeah,
Did they,
And the training.
That's
Yeah.
what they said at school.
That's, and so, when and if we ever get into one of those, and it looks like the possibility is pretty high that we will end up with one or two of those, that's one of the things that we're gonna have to insist on be in the agreement.
somebody told me the other day, who was I talked to? And somebody said they'd been approached about a battery storage on their place.
Oh, really?
I can't think who it was now. Somewhere around.
I don't know what individual property that you're talking about, but they said they thought they had about a 200-acre plot that they're negotiating for.
For battery
On the
storage?
Battery storage, yeah. So it,
Yeah.
I expect that once the solar farm starts, the battery facility is probably
It's
gonna be,
pretty, it's gotta be pretty close to
yeah,
where that.
pretty
Yeah,
close.
I think that battery deal, I think it's pretty pricey. I think there's a lot of valuation in those.
Yeah,
if I'm
the
not
values
mistaken.
on those are pretty high so far. So, but anyhow, that's kinda in the works right now. I just don't know how far along they are with the land and all, but they thought they thought they had about 200-acre plot that they think they had pretty well locked in, but the deal's not complete yet, so.
And the AI stuff, I mean, there's lots of money in those values,
Yeah,
lots of money.
yeah, I'll tell you what, a data center would be good. Have y'all been by that, where they're building that new data center down there at Abilene? That thing is massive. And the projections on that thing is that it could add 100,000 new jobs in Taylor County.
No kidding. I hadn't read that.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's double the size nearly. I mean, if that were to come about, that would put Lubbock, or Abilene, in the size of Lubbock and Amarillo.
Oh. They don't have the, they don't have the water.
Nobody has the workforce, that's the problem.
I mean, that thing, when you're going into Abilene.
water,
Yeah, if you go in and taking, the loop to come around, you look off out there to the west there, it's on the southwest corner, or northwest corner of Abilene. You look out there, you'll see all those big mountain we-top cranes, and those things are sticking up like hair on a dog. I mean, there's a lot of them. So that thing
Yeah,
is
they was
big.
talking about that down at the school.
yeah.
Doesn't that battery deal take a lot, that battery deal takes a lot of water, doesn't it? Is that right? Do y'all
I don't know
know?
what this talking about, something down
Something,
there,
yeah, I think so.
it takes
Yeah.
a bunch of water. and
think I
thought,
read
well,
that
that ain't
somewhere.
gonna happen in our part of the world.
Yeah, so
I don't know. Of
I
course,
don't know a lot about them. I think Jones County has got 2 that they've signed agreements on. And I
What is
think-
that-
And I think Fisher County
Y'all
has
getting
one.
out of here?
What is,
You're kinda chasing rabbits.
okay, I got one more question, I'll quit, okay?
Fisher County, they do, don't they? Is it just one or two? Just one, that's what I was thinking.
What is that they're building at that Radium Gin?
It's another solar panel,
Okay.
solar farm.
Okay. That's all, that's it.
But but it's a different company than we dealing with, and a different company than built the big one there, just outside of Lansing.
This is your world, Gary. I'm just.
I will say this, though, I did have a real estate agent call me last week, and he told me the prediction is that there won't be an acre of cotton grown in Jones County in 15 years. It'll all be under wind or solar over there.
Wow.
It get,
I thought that was a pretty bold prediction. but
well,
anyway,
that's pretty bold, because there's a whole lot of cotton grown between
Maybe it'll
Anson and
make your cotton
Stampford.
crops go up. There you
Yeah.
go.
Here's
We're
being
all
power man.
optimistic, see?
You believe that?
The eternal optimist.
we,
I got some stuff to say with you.
I was thinking about cutting the Lacey on this farming deal I've got going on. I
Okay,
don't want on my
anybody-
ranching deal, but I'm literally on my farming deal.
Do you
Ground
have
floor.
anything else on open forum?
Motion adjourned.
All right. We're adjourned.
Good job, guys, good job.
Yeah.
Oh, Lordy.
Good job, Gary.
Didn't compliment, but we had fun
I'm gonna go
doing it.
work.